This video is called 50 Cruise Tips with Zero Fluff for a reason. Because whether this is your first cruise, or it has been a while since your last one, you probably do not want a slow build-up. You want the useful stuff now. The things that first-time cruisers usually find out too late, explained quickly, clearly, and without dragging every point out. So we're going straight in. 50 fast cruise tips, no fluff. Let's get into it. Part 1. Before you book and before you sail. Tip 1. Check the exact ship before you book. Do not just check the cruise line. Check the actual ship. One ship might be newer, bigger, louder, busier, and full of things to do. Another ship from the same cruise line might be older, calmer, smaller, and much easier to get around. Neither is automatically bad, but they are not the same cruise. Before you book, search the exact ship name, look at recent videos, and check what passengers are saying now. Because the cruise line gets you interested, but the ship is where you actually live for the week. Tip 2. Check what is above and below your cabin. A cabin can look like a bargain until you realize where it is. It might be under the pool deck, below the buffet, near a nightclub, beside a crew door, or close to a busy lift area. That might not bother everyone. But if you are a light sleeper, traveling with children, or you need proper rest, check the deck plan before you book. A safer choice is usually a cabin with other cabins above and below it. Because saving money on a room is great, saving money and hearing chairs scrape above your head at sunrise is less great. Tip 3. Fly in at least one day early if you can. If you're flying to the cruise, try to arrive the day before. Same-day flying sounds fine until something goes wrong. A delayed flight, missing luggage, bad weather, or heavy traffic near the port can turn embarkation day into panic very quickly, and the ship will not wait because your travel day fell apart. A lot of cruisers only need one close call to learn this rule. If you can arrive the day before, stay near the port, and start the cruise already in the right city, your first day feels much calmer. Tip 4. Be careful with early flights home. Getting home matters too. Do not book a flight so early that your last morning becomes stressful before you even leave the ship. Disembarkation can be delayed, customs can take longer, lifts can be packed, taxis, shuttles, and ride shares can be busy, and airports near cruise ports can get crowded when several ships arrive on the same morning. If your flight is too early, the whole last morning can feel rushed. Give yourself enough time to get off the ship, get to the airport, and breathe like a normal person. Tip 5. Check in online as soon as your cruise line allows. Set a reminder for online check-in day. This is one of those small things that can make the start of your cruise easier. When check-in opens, you may be able to choose a boarding time, upload documents, add payment details, and sort out information before you get to the terminal. If you leave it too late, the better arrival times may already be gone, and nobody wants to start their first cruise thinking, I probably should have done this last week. Tip 6. Download the cruise app before embarkation day. Do not wait until you are standing in the terminal to download the app. Do it before you leave home. Sign in, check your booking, and have a quick look around so you know where things are. The app may show your boarding details, dining times, menus, activities, show bookings, onboard account, and daily planner once you're on the ship. It is much easier to learn the app while sitting at home than while holding bags, documents, and a coffee you already regret buying. Tip 7. Check what needs booking before you board. Some things may need booking before the cruise or as soon as you get on board, including shows, specialty dining, activities, spa times, excursions, internet packages, and sometimes even dining times. Do not assume everything can be sorted later. If there is something you really care about, check early. You do not need to plan every minute of the cruise, but you also do not want to find out the thing you were excited for is already full. Tip 8. Save your important cruise documents where you can find them. Before you leave home, save or screenshot the things you may need, including your boarding pass, luggage tags, hotel booking, transfer details, travel insurance, passport, or ID information, and emergency contacts. Do not rely only on internet access or an email loading at the perfect moment. A simple folder on your phone, plus a printed backup for the most important documents, can make check-in much smoother. First-time cruisers have enough to think about without hunting through emails in a terminal line. Tip 9. Think carefully before using a debit card for your onboard account. When you set up your onboard account, the cruise line may ask for a card. A credit card often works better for some passengers because debit cards can sometimes have holds placed on the account as you spend. Those holds may not disappear straight away after the cruise. That can be a shock if the money is still unavailable when you need it for normal spending, travel, or bills. This does not mean you can never use a debit card. It just means you should understand how your cruise line handles holds before you attach it to your account. Tip 10. Watch for price drops before final payment. After you book, do not forget about the price. Cruise fares can change. Before final payment, check the same cruise, same date, and same cabin type every so often. If the price drops, you may be able to ask for a price adjustment, onboard credit, or another option, depending on the cruise line and fare rules. The cruise line usually will not contact you to say, "Good news, you can pay us less." So this is one of those checks you need to do yourself. And if you like tips that get straight to the point, hit the like button, because next, we're getting into the packing tricks that can save space, stop mess, and make your tiny cruise cabin feel much easier to live in. Part 2. Packing tips that actually help. Tip 11. Pack a longer charging cord, but avoid banned power strips. Cruise cabins do not always have outlets exactly where you want them. Sometimes the plug is across the room, not beside the bed, and that is annoying if you use your phone as an alarm or like it close by at night. A longer charging cord can make life much easier, but be careful with power strips. Cruise lines often do not allow surge-protected power boards, and they can be confiscated. So before you pack anything with extra outlets, check your cruise line's rules. A long cord is simple. A banned power strip is just a little gift for security. Tip 12. Bring magnetic hooks for the cabin walls. This is one of those cruise packing tips that sounds strange until you use it. Many cruise cabin walls are metal, which means magnetic hooks can give you extra hanging space without taking up room. You can use them for hats, lanyards, light bags, jackets, paperwork, damp swimsuits, or anything you keep grabbing every day. They are especially useful because cruise cabins can get messy fast. One minute the room looks tidy, the next minute there are bags, shoes, chargers, swimwear, and receipts everywhere. Magnetic hooks help get things off the floor and make the cabin easier to live in. Tip 13. Use Ziploc bags or small pouches for wet, leaking, or messy items. Pack a few Ziploc bags or small pouches before you cruise. They take up almost no room, but they can save you a lot of annoyance. You can use them for wet swimsuits, leaking toiletries, snacks, jewelry, medicine, laundry items, small cables, or anything you do not want rolling around loose in your bag. They are also handy on port days if you need to protect something from sunscreen, sand, or water. This is not a glamorous packing tip. Nobody dreams about Ziploc bags when they book a cruise, but when you need one, you really need one. Tip 14. Pack a small medicine bag before you need it. Do not wait until you are on the ship to realize you need basic medicine. Cruise shops may not have exactly what you use at home, and the medical center can be expensive. Pack a small medicine bag with the basics, like pain relief, seasickness tablets, stomach medicine, antacids, allergy tablets, cold and flu items, Band-Aids, blister patches, and any prescription medication you normally take. You do not need to bring a whole pharmacy. Just bring enough to handle the simple problems that can waste half a day if you are not prepared, because nobody wants to spend cruise time hunting for tablets. Tip 15. Bring a small crossbody bag for onboard essentials. A small crossbody bag can be really useful once you are on board. It gives you somewhere to keep your phone, glasses, lip balm, tissues, hand sanitizer, small cash, and cruise card or room key. Some people love lanyards, and that is fine. But if you do not want your cruise card hanging around your neck all day, a small bag is a good option. It is also useful around the ship when you do not want to carry a full tote bag. You're not moving house. You just need the little things you keep reaching for. Tip 16. Split clothes between suitcases if you are traveling with someone. If you're traveling with a partner, family member, or friend, do not put all of one person's clothes in one suitcase and all of the other person's clothes in another. Split them a little. Put some of your clothes in their bag and some of theirs in yours. That way, if one suitcase is delayed or goes missing, one person is not left with absolutely nothing. You do not need to make it complicated. Just make sure each person has a few outfits, underwear, and basic essentials in more than one bag. It is simple, free, and very clever if luggage decides to take its own vacation. Tip 17. Pack outfits, not random clothes. This is one of the easiest ways to stop overpacking. Do not just throw in tops, pants, dresses, shorts, and shoes because you like them. Pack outfits you can actually wear. Think about sea days, port days, dinner, casual clothes, pool time, and travel days. If an item does not go with anything else, think twice before packing it. First-time cruisers often bring too much because they pack for every possible mood, but cruise cabins are small and luggage space disappears fast. You want clothes that work together, not a suitcase full of maybe. Tip 18. Wear your bulkiest items on travel day. If you are packing heavier shoes, a jacket, jeans, or a bulky layer, wear it on travel day if it makes sense. This is especially useful for Alaska, Norway, Europe, winter cruises, or any cruise where you need warmer clothes. Bulky items can take up a lot of suitcase space, and they can push your luggage weight up quickly. Wearing the heaviest pieces can free up room for the things you actually need to pack. Just do not overdo it. You want to save suitcase space, not look like you are wearing half your wardrobe through airport security. Tip 19. Keep a proper embarkation carry-on bag with you. When you hand your big suitcase to the porters, you may not see it again for hours. So keep a small carry-on bag with the things you need for the first part of the day. That can include medication, documents, valuables, phone charger, sunglasses, sunscreen, swimsuit, a change of clothes, and anything important for kids. Do not pack anything essential in the suitcase you hand over. Most luggage arrives perfectly fine. But if yours is delayed, you do not want your medication, swimsuit, or charger having a private tour of the ship without you. Tip 20. Bring a laundry bag so your cabin does not become a suitcase disaster. Bring something for dirty clothes. It can be a laundry bag, packing cube, spare tote, or even a simple plastic bag. Cruise cabins are small, and dirty clothes can take over very quickly if you do not have a place for them. A laundry bag keeps worn clothes away from clean clothes and makes packing at the end much easier. It also stops the cabin from turning into that stage of the cruise where nobody knows what is clean, what is dirty, and what has simply given up. Small tip, big difference. So now you know what to pack, but the next part is where the cruise really begins. And a few small choices on embarkation day can change the whole mood of your first afternoon on board. Part 3. Embarkation day without the chaos. Tip 21. Put cruise luggage tags on after your flight, not before. If you are flying to the port, do not put your cruise luggage tags on too early. Airlines can damage them, remove them, or they can get caught while your bags are being moved around. A safer move is to keep the cruise tags with you and attach them at the hotel, in the transfer, or before you hand your luggage to the porters at the cruise terminal. Your airline does not need your cabin number. The cruise port does. Tip 22. Do not drag every suitcase on board just to feel in control. Some first-time cruisers want to carry all their luggage onto the ship because it feels safer. But embarkation day is not the time to become your own luggage department. Elevators can be packed. Cabins may not be ready, and dragging large suitcases around the ship can make the first few hours harder than they need to be. Keep your important carry-on bag with you, but let the porters handle the bigger luggage if that works for your situation. You want to start the cruise exploring the ship, not wrestling a suitcase through a crowded hallway. Tip 23. Do your muster check-in early enough to get it off your mind. The muster drill is the safety check every passenger has to complete. Some cruisers do it the second they board. Others wait until after lunch. But the smart move is to get it done early enough that it is not hanging over your head. On many ships, it only takes a few minutes now, especially compared with the old days when everyone had to stand together at the same time. Once it is done, you can relax properly. Nobody wants their name called out later because they were too busy finding pizza. Tip 24. Skip the first buffet rush if there are calmer lunch options. The buffet is usually the first place many passengers think of on embarkation day. That is exactly why it can be packed. Before you follow the crowd, check whether the main dining room, a cafe, pizza place, grill, pub-style venue, or another included food spot is open. Some ships have much calmer lunch options that new cruisers do not even realize are available. The buffet is not bad. It is just not always the calmest way to start your cruise. Sometimes the best first meal is the one where you are not circling with a plate, looking for a table. Tip 25. Do not stand around waiting for your cabin to open. On some ships, cabins are ready early. On others, they are not ready until later in the afternoon. So before you spend half your first day waiting near the cabin hallway, check what your cruise line usually allows. If cabins are not open yet, use that time properly. Eat lunch, complete muster, explore a deck or two, check a quiet bar, or find a nice place to sit. This is why your carry-on should be sensible, not enormous. It is much easier to enjoy the first few hours when you're not carrying half your bedroom with you. Tip 26. Try the less obvious elevators when the middle ones are packed. On embarkation day, the central elevators can get very busy because that is where a lot of passengers naturally go first. If you're waiting too long, try walking forward or aft and using a different elevator bank. On many ships, the back elevators can be much calmer, especially when everyone is boarding at once. This tip also works during the cruise. Sometimes the fastest elevator is not the closest one. It is the one most passengers forgot existed. Tip 27. Fix important reservations as soon as you board if you could not do them earlier. If you could not book something before the cruise, deal with it early once you get on board. That might be dining changes, specialty restaurants, show times, kids' club details, spa appointments, or activities that fill up quickly. Do not wait until dinner time and then wonder why the best options have disappeared. This does not mean you need to run around the ship like you are in a race. Just sort the things that matter before the crowds get settled and everyone else remembers they need to do the same thing. Tip 28. Find a quieter bar or lounge instead of joining the first big line. On embarkation day, some bars are always busier than others. Usually the pool bar, the atrium bar, or the first bar everyone sees when they board. If the line looks ridiculous, keep walking. There is often another bar nearby that is much calmer. The same thing can happen with lounges and seating areas. First-time cruisers often stop where the crowd stops. Experienced cruisers keep moving for another minute and find the easier option. Your first cruise drink should not require the patience of a tax office queue. Tip 29. Check whether your luggage has arrived before you fully settle in. Once cabins are open, check whether your luggage has arrived when you pass by your room. If it is there, great. You can unpack and make the cabin feel organized early. If it is not there yet, do not panic. Luggage can arrive at different times, especially on a big ship. This is why you keep medication, valuables, documents, and anything urgent in your carry-on. The goal is not to hover in the hallway waiting for your suitcase. It is just to keep an eye on it without letting it take over your first day. Tip 30. Give yourself permission to slow down on day 1. Embarkation day can make people feel like they have to do everything at once. Eat, drink, explore, book, unpack, take photos, find the cabin, check the app, do muster, and somehow already know where everything is. You do not. It is your first day. You are allowed to slow down. Pick the important things first, then let the rest of the ship unfold as you go. A cruise is much more enjoyable when you stop trying to win embarkation day and just start enjoying the fact that you are finally on board. And once you're finally on board, that's when the little ship habits start to matter. Because next, we're getting into the onboard tips experienced cruisers use without even thinking. Part 4. Onboard tips experienced cruisers know. Tip 31. Walk the buffet before joining the first line. When you walk into the buffet, do not automatically join the first line you see. On many ships, the same food is repeated in different sections, and the first station is often busy just because it is the first one people reach. Take one quick lap first. You might find the same breakfast, carving station, dessert, or hot food further down with hardly anyone waiting. The longest line is not always the best food. Sometimes it is just the line closest to the door. Tip 32. Sanitize again after using the buffet tongs. Washing your hands before the buffet is important. But experienced cruisers know the second part matters too. After you pick up your food, you have touched serving spoons, tongs, chairs, counters, and maybe your phone. So once you sit down, use hand sanitizer again before you actually eat. It takes a few seconds, but it can make a real difference. Nobody wants to spend part of their cruise stuck in the cabin feeling awful while everyone else is heading to dinner. Tip 33. Check both the main dining room and the buffet. Do not decide you are only a dining room person or only a buffet person on day 1. Use both. Some nights, the main dining room feels lovely because you sit down, get served, and slow down properly. Other nights, the buffet makes more sense because you are tired, short on time, or just want something quicker. And on some cruises, the buffet may even have some of the same dishes as the dining room. Experienced cruisers stay flexible. The best dinner option is the one that suits that night. Tip 34. Read the daily planner before the day disappears. Every day on a cruise has more happening than you think. Shows, trivia, live music, classes, sales, games, lectures, movies, tastings, activities, and little events you may not hear about unless you actually check. So look at the daily planner or app each morning. You do not need to do everything. In fact, please do not try. But if something sounds fun, mark it early. Otherwise, you may find out at dinner that the thing you would have loved happened 3 hours ago. Tip 35. Check your onboard account during the cruise. Do not wait until the last night to look at your onboard account. Check it during the cruise. Drinks, photos, shops, bingo, specialty dining, spa treatments, excursions, gratuities, and little extras can all appear there. Most of the time, the charges are correct. But mistakes can happen, and spending can add up faster than you realize. It is much easier to fix something while you are still on board than after you have already left the ship. A quick check every day or two can save a very annoying final night surprise. Tip 36. Go to guest services when the line is not ridiculous. Guest services can be very helpful. But the timing matters. The worst times are usually embarkation day, the last night, and disembarkation morning, because that is when everyone suddenly needs help at the same time. If your problem is not urgent, go during a quieter time. Try when most people are in port, during a big show, during dinner, or early in the morning. You are more likely to get calmer help, and you will not spend half your cruise standing behind someone arguing about a towel charge from Tuesday. Tip 37. Learn a few crew names early. This is such a small thing, but it can change the feel of your cruise. Learn the name of your cabin steward, dinner waiter, coffee server, or anyone you see often. You do not need to make a big performance out of it. Just be friendly and use their name. Cruise crew work incredibly hard, and kindness stands out. It can make the ship feel warmer, more personal, and more welcoming. And honestly, some of the nicest cruise memories come from the people who looked after you along the way. Tip 38. Do not try to do every activity together. If you are cruising with family, friends, or a group, you do not have to spend every minute together. That is one of the best things about cruising. One person can go to trivia, someone else can nap, someone can sit by the pool, and someone else can wander the shops. Then you meet later for dinner or a show. Trying to drag everyone to every activity can turn a cruise into hard work. Experienced cruisers know that sometimes the best group holiday is the one where everyone gets a little freedom. Tip 39. Ask other passengers what they have found on board. Some of the best cruise tips come from people already on the ship. Ask someone how their meal was, where they found a quiet spot, whether a show was worth seeing, or what they enjoyed that day. Cruisers love sharing little discoveries. You might hear about a calmer breakfast spot, a better bar, a hidden deck, a good snack place, or an activity you would have missed. You do not need to talk to everyone in the lift like you are running for mayor, but a quick friendly chat can teach you a lot. Tip 40. Find your quiet spot before you actually need one. Cruise ships are exciting, but they can also be busy. Music, announcements, crowds, lifts, restaurants, pool decks, and people everywhere. So early in the cruise, find a quiet place you can escape to. It might be a promenade deck, library, lounge, quiet bar, adult area, shaded corner, or a less busy outside deck. You may not need it every day, but when the ship feels too loud, too crowded, or you just want 10 peaceful minutes, you will be glad you already know where to go. And make sure you stay for this final part, because some of the easiest tips to forget are the ones that matter most when you're off the ship, heading home, or trying not to end the cruise in a panic. Part 5. Port days, final bills, and getting off the ship. Tip 41. Check ship time before you walk off in port. Before you leave the ship in port, check the ship time. Not your phone time, ship time. Your phone may change automatically when it connects to local service, especially if you are crossing time zones. But the ship may still be running on a different time. That is where people get caught. Check the daily planner, the app, or the sign near the gangway before you walk off. because the only time that matters is the time the ship is using. Tip 42. Take a photo of the port emergency contact details. Before you leave the ship, take a photo of the port emergency contact information. It may be in the daily planner, in the app, or on a sign near the gangway. You probably will not need it, but if your taxi breaks down, someone gets sick, you get delayed, or you need to contact the ship's local port agent, you will be glad it is already on your phone. It takes 2 seconds, and it is much better than trying to find the information while you're already stressed. Tip 43. Get back earlier than the all-aboard time. Do not aim to be back right on the all-aboard time. Aim earlier. A slow taxi, traffic, a long walk, a wrong turn, or one last shop near the port can all eat up more time than you expect. The ship does not wait because you were nearly there. Experienced cruisers give themselves a buffer, especially in ports they do not know well, because nobody wants to be the person running down the pier while everyone on the balconies suddenly has free entertainment. Tip 44. Check every device for roaming, not just your phone. Most people remember to put their phone in airplane mode when the ship leaves port, but do not forget the other devices: smartwatch, tablet, child's device, second phone, anything that can connect to mobile service. Cruise roaming can be very different from normal roaming, and even a device in the background can create charges you were not expecting. So, before sail away, check every device, not just the obvious one. Your smartwatch should not be the reason your phone bill gets a souvenir from the cruise. Tip 45. Know whether your port uses tenders before you plan your day. Some ports let you walk straight off the ship. Others use tender boats, which means smaller boats take passengers between the ship and the shore. That can change your whole port day. Tendering can take extra time, there may be queues, and the process can be harder if you have mobility issues, young children, or a tight excursion time. So before you plan a packed day, check whether the port is a tender port. The port might look easy on paper, but getting ashore can be the part that changes everything. Tip 46. Keep your passport or ID plan clear before you leave the ship. Before you walk off in port, know what identification you actually need to take with you. Some ports may require photo ID. Some passengers may need a passport. Some cruise lines may tell you to carry a copy and leave the original in the safe, depending on the destination. The point is not to guess. Check the daily planner, the app, or the information your cruise line gives you for that port. You want the right ID with you, not a panic moment at the gangway or later in town. Tip 47. Check your safe before the final morning gets chaotic. Before you leave your cabin for the last time, check the safe. Then check it again. That little safe is where people put passports, wallets, jewelry, cash, spare cards, watches, and important documents. And the final morning is exactly when people forget things. Everyone is tired, bags are everywhere, the cabin looks half-packed, and people are trying to get breakfast and get off the ship. Make it a habit. Safe, drawers, wardrobe, bathroom, under the bed, then one last look. But the safe is the big one. Tip 48. Lay out your full going-home outfit before luggage collection. If you put your suitcase outside your cabin on the last night, make sure you keep tomorrow's clothes inside the cabin. Not just something to wear. A full outfit. Underwear, socks, shoes, clothes, glasses, medication, toiletries, phone charger, and anything else you need before you see your suitcase again. People really have packed everything and woken up with nothing proper to wear off the ship. It sounds funny until you are the one staring at the empty wardrobe. Lay it out first. Then, put the luggage outside. Tip 49. Do not pack your cruise card or room key too early. Keep your cruise card, room key, or cruise medallion with you until you are fully finished with it. You may still need it to leave the ship, open your cabin, buy something, collect something, or prove who you are on board. Do not pack it deep inside a suitcase that has already gone into the hallway. And definitely do not leave yourself locked out of the cabin on the last night while your luggage is already gone. That is not the dramatic cruise ending anyone needs. Tip 50. Choose your disembarkation plan before the last night. Do not wait until the last minute to work out how you're getting off the ship. Some passengers carry their own bags off early. Some put luggage out the night before. Some leave later and avoid the first big rush. The best choice depends on your flight time, luggage, mobility, family, transport, and how much stress you want on the final morning. If you need to leave early, plan for that. If you do not need to rush, you may have a calmer morning by letting the first wave go. The trick is to decide before the last night, not while everyone else is suddenly reading luggage tags and looking confused. So there you go. 50 cruise tips with zero fluff before your first cruise. And honestly, we could probably do another 50 because once you start cruising, you realize there are so many little habits, checks, and tricks that make the whole trip easier. But this gives you a strong start. If this video helped you, hit the like button and tell me in the comments if you're going on your first cruise soon. And before you go, make sure you watch the video on the screen now, because it covers even more cruise tips that can save you stress, money, and those "why didn't I know that" moments on board. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.